Well, it's good to see you all, family and friends, here tonight. Insiders and outsiders are both here. We all got text messages, as most of you know. Mr. Park asked me first time, and then I was speaking to, just watch out for David Brown, what you say to him. It was him that asked me the second time. And then Mr. Park presented it to me the third time. And David Brown, he said to me, the Lord spoke to Samuel 3 times before he said, "Thy servant heareth." So here I am. Well, I was born in the Lagan Valley Hospital in Lisburn at a very young age, on the 16th of September, 76, to extremely proud parents. my dad, being a motorbike fanatic, seemed fit to call me after the British GP rider Barry Sheen. I have an older sister, Hayley, a lot older than me, and then I have a younger sister, Faith. After Faith was born, I became a rose between 2 thorns, so to speak. My parents were both saved, so I was brought up in a Christian home where the Bible was read and taught, or we were taught the things of God. A very clear memory as a child, seeing my mother on her knees at her bedside. Dad was trying to put us to bed. I asked, "What's wrong with Mummy? Why is she on her knees?" And he says, "Your mother's praying for you and your sisters that you might be saved." That's always stuck in my mind. Mum and Dad attended Lisburn Free Presbyterian Church, and we were sent along to Sunday school, church, any other wee meetings that were on. And thanks to all the children's workers and the Sunday school teachers, we were faithfully taught all the memory verses and the things of God. And I can say, like Timothy, as a child, I knew the scriptures. My childhood knowledge was that if I died before I was saved, I would go to hell. It's as simple as that. My eldest thorn, or sister, was a kind of influence on me. Actually, she should be up here doing this, for she always done the talking when we were weans. But Hayley was saved as a child, and she would have me sitting on her bed along with her dolls and teddies and whatever else, reading me Bible stories and singing choruses, playing church. She was the organist, hat and all. I can remember being told that I got saved when I was about 5 years old, probably during one of Hayley's meetings. But I don't remember this happening. I don't remember actually asking God to save me or praying a prayer that this would have a wee effect on me when I was older. With all the Christian influences in my life, it was easy to say that I was a Christian. Being reared in a Christian home is a great privilege. And the Bible, the gospel singing and the praying was all I ever knew, I grew up with. And I thank the Lord for this. Going through primary school was, as most would say, was easy enough. No trials or temptations that I could speak of. Even when I started first year in Lisnagarvey High School, I was a clean-cut Christian. My first year at high school, Dad started the Whitfield College at the same time to go into ministry. And at home as a child, I can remember there being many difficulties, emotionally, financially. But the Lord always undertook for us, whether it be a box of groceries or a letter of encouragement. Dad has now been minister there in Tullyvallen, or Bandit Country, otherwise known, for over 11 years, and we're very proud of the ministry that him and Mum has there. However, as school year went on, I began to get pushed about and made fun of because I was a Christian. I wasn't that big of a wee fella. And of course, there were a few hard nuts there. Some big, some who wanted to be big. I can remember one instance being pinned up to a set of rails where they hung the coats at. And all of a sudden, this big chap in the 4th year came along to my rescue. I think I found out later that he only helped me so that I would tell my sister, and she'd be so impressed. She must have been, for she ended up marrying him. It was Mark. I used to get slagged for being a Christian. They called my names such as Holy Joe or B Cubed, stood for Bible Bash and Barry. I still get called names today by my friends, like Fat Mess or Big Heat. But of course, the devil then started whispering in my ear, are you going to take this for the rest of the high school? Stand up for yourself and head back. At that time, or a couple of years before this, I'd been learning jiu-jitsu. Some boys here know what that's like. The devil kept at me anyway, and I lashed out and started fighting back. I wanted to be one of the lads. The devil's crafty. He starts off with something small and progresses into something bigger. And it gets a real grip on you. I started to use the martial arts to my advantage, making fighting normality. But unfortunately, along with the fighting came the bad language. And then you started listening to worldly music. I thought that a few swear words in starting and finishing the fight would earn you a bit of respect with the other boys. Drink was also introduced to me as well. But I thank the Lord that He made my stomach turn at the smell of it, let alone the taste of it. My so-called friends were heading down the broad road, and I was heading with them. These are not things I've ever spoken of, or don't like to glorify the devil. But what really annoyed me was hearing, sure, you're not really saved at all. Sure, you don't even remember it. I started to doubt that I even was saved at all. While this was going on, I was still going to church, youth fellowship. And as Derwood had said there a couple of weeks ago, I was talking the talk, but I wasn't walking the walk. As each end of term report came out, Mum and Dad were saying that results were getting worse. Dad was being called to the principal's office on a regular basis. And I can remember Mum saying that she didn't worry about what I was doing, or she didn't worry about the results, it was more what I was doing to my testimony. That started to convict me. After this, I remember the Lord starting to work on my heart, convicting me that I think it was in around 15 or so, a verse always kept coming to my head, Genesis 6, verse 3. My spirit shall not always strive with man. I kept thinking, what if something should happen and I wasn't right with God? I knew I couldn't keep going on my sinful path. I was sitting in the armchair at home and I realized that I needed the Lord. I remember praying to God and asking Him to forgive me. I realized I was a sinner and I needed Him to save me. Immediately, the burden lifted. And as the winds would sing, rolled away, and the burden of my heart rolled away, I knew then that I was saved and ready for heaven. Just like Julie mentioned last week, I don't remember the date or the time of the conversion. The Apostle Paul said that he was saved at midday. Some know exact detail, and all I know is I was there when it happened. After this, all the fighting, bad behaviour all stopped. Stopped hanging around the ones who were dragging me down. Seek out new friends who were a good influence in my life and to encourage me to read and pray and ask God for guidance in my life. After leaving school with my many qualifications, I started to serve my time as a plumber. Give me the opportunity to serve God in the mission field there in Kenya, helping to erect and do the plumbing work on the current clinic. I was then subjected to an arranged marriage by my mother and Joanne's Auntie Christine. No, seriously, I met Joanne at Mervyn and Christine's house in May '96 and we've never looked back. Isn't that right? God has blessed us and we were married in August 2000. We lived in Tandragee for a couple of years. And as you know, Mr. Park has a rule about boys marrying Ballymoney girls. The truth be told, Joanne was a homebird and she missed her daddy, so I had to get back home again. I became a member here shortly after that and enjoyed the fellowship here with God's people. A lot of friends here, Grace Alone members as well. Some have come up especially for it tonight. And we have two beautiful daughters also, Ellie and Alice. And just to close, I want to speak to any young folk who perhaps are going through what I went through. Maybe you're doubting your salvation, or got into the wrong company. I want to encourage you to leave all worldly things behind and get right with God. It's important to seek out Christian friends, and also even a life partner who's saved and loves the Lord. Your friends will either help you or hinder you. I would urge you to choose Christ tonight. Thank you.